Hello? The channel is finally hitting around 100 subscribers. As you may already know, the type of video I put out does not do well in the YouTube algorithm. It doesn't have good watch time, nor does it have a catchy thumbnail with a face on it. So if you really want to see more and want to help the channel to grow, please help share it to the world. Enjoy the video. Cyberpunk, an action role-playing game, was just released a few days ago. Well, depending on when this video gets uploaded, it might be a few weeks from now. Anyways, the game has a lot of hype in it, and although I'm not playing it because it costs too much and I probably do not have the specs to fully enjoy the game anyways, I thought it would be a great time to be ranting about games to make myself feel better. More specifically, virtual games. Before you come too quick to judge where my alliance stands, I like to point out that I've been playing games for a good chunk of my life. In fact, I still play games up to now, and probably would in the future. Some of my favorite games when I was younger includes Final Fantasy, Harvest Moon, Metal Gear Solid on the PlayStation 1. On the PC, I remember playing a lot of Ragnarok Online, Dragon Nest, Skyrim, and Dota. But that is actually just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the games that I've played in the course of my life. I've even started a channel about a game in which I made money and was a partner to a game developer. To most people, games are nothing more than just entertainment, but the truth is, at least for me, it felt much more. Depending on the game, it could feel like it's a test of my intelligence, and by beating the game, it makes me feel smart. I also feel like games can bring you into a new world, allowing you to do things that you can't in the real one. And lately, I feel like games can get people together, whether it's because you play together or you just happen to share a common interest. As time passes, the idea of gaming just being a pastime is slowly fading. It got more popular and then it got more competitive. Now, to some, it's a sport, and maybe to others, it could even be a career or a profession. The importance of what used to be an advanced teddy bear for kids is now a dream to many as a way of life. And all these changed in just a few decades. But this is also where I start to get worried. As a high school teacher and also a tutor to quite a number of students, I can see some ready to drop off high school to play games. They see the success of their favorite streamers and not the millions who had been trying for years. And a lot of the successful ones had an early start, when the competition just wasn't as high as today. My advice to them is usually just start and try out part-time. I mean, the requirements is low, it's not like you need a whole capital to start. Just try making a video a month and start figuring out what you need to accomplish your dream instead of fantasizing what you think to be an easy life. To me, asking them to do this is also really just a test, because a lot of the time, without knowing, they're just looking for an excuse to not study or work and play games, which to no surprise, none of them persist. So yeah, the growth of the gaming industry definitely affects the performance of my students, which also affects their teacher and the parents in some ways. But how does it affect the growth of our species? Well, most games are made to keep the users playing and try to be as addictive as possible, so we definitely lose a lot of time. And when it comes to technology, I agree that the need to make games more immersive allowed us to come up with better VR tech, and the demand for better performance gives pressure to make better CPU, GPU, and things like that. But I just feel like we could have advanced faster nevertheless if our objectives was to improve technology to begin with. If you really think about it, we don't play games to become smarter, even though you can, and to most it's also not to make a living, because generally it does not put food on the table. Now, not to sound grim here, but if everyone is spending most of their time on games, wouldn't that slow down our progression on other more important things like education or interstellar traveling? It is said that Einstein was not the smartest person on Earth, because statistically speaking, with the population of Earth and with all the people ever lived, the smartest person on Earth is more likely to be someone born in a less developed country where the birth rate is really high, like India. But given their living condition, might not have the opportunity to shine. I'm just worried that the next smartest person might end up in a room somewhere playing games. The thing is, virtual games presents us with a virtual life, one capable of being far more colorful and interesting. So could this also dial ourselves to the real world? Can you willingly, for example, eat oats every day after knowing that there are more delicious food or sensations out there? Could virtual games make gamers feel bored and unmotivated in real life? And if so, where would you rather spend your time in? The virtual or the real? Finally, life is about achievements. Every time we accomplish something or feel a sense of progression, our body releases dopamine, a kind of happy hormone that gives us pleasure. Our body loves dopamine, which is also why nicotine, alcohol, and other drugs that could give us a quick and more intensive dopamine rush is very addictive. Although the methods of acquiring dopamine is different with games, but they are both shortcuts to get more dopamine. Game developers know about this fact, which is why most successful games are in many ways achievement-based. It could actually be a scary thought to think that games could be designed so well to make you lock in at specific times and make you do a series of things or press a series of buttons every single day, and even make you willingly watch ads. At some point, you might start to wonder if you are actually playing the game or if the game is playing you. We had a video about free will before in this channel, and according to its content, depending on our condition, we might not even have a choice, and it all boils down to self-control. People who lack self-control, like children, are more likely to fall victim to game addiction. So yes, I do believe that it's fine to play games. However, we need to know when to stop and what should be our priorities in life. So if you cannot control yourself, you might want to actively avoid it, else it's just like drinking alcohol knowing that you'll become an alcoholic. Anyways, happy gaming, because at the end of the day, life itself is but a game, just with lots of consequences, and I hope you make the best of it. Wow, you made it to the end of the video. Like the video if you like it, or dislike it if you do not, but make sure you explain why down in the comments so that this channel can further improve based on your feedback. Oh, and subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe. Thank you for watching and have a pleasant day. Bye bye.